Hello, you guys. Welcome to the Ranting Shop. Today we're going to be discussing Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 2, Episode 18. So, today we're going to go in chronological order. So, you know what? Let's just get into it. So, Letitia and Marceau. So, remember in the previous episode, they had that camping trip and things went left when Letitia said that Melody was talking some BS. And that shut down their communication and everybody got frustrated and walked off and stuff like that. So she's relaying what happened to her husband Marceau, and Marceau is holding her accountable and telling her, well, I mean, if you get to a point where somebody's being vulnerable with you and opening up to you and you're shutting them down with they're talking or they're saying BS to you, like you cannot expect them to continue being open with you. You cannot expect them to be happy about being called or being BSs, like according to you. Like it's not good communication. Like you shut down communication when you tell people that you're lying or if you tell people that you're BSing. And if communication is your goal, then that's not the way you approach it. So what stuck with me with their conversation is that Marceau, she's asking Marceau whether she should apologize to Melody or not, and Marceau is telling her that what Melody requires is a listening ear. And I thought that that was superb, because at the end of the day, apologies don't necessarily fix things. People apologize for various reasons. They could be genuine, they could be disingenuine. It's not something that is the end all be all. It's not something that, oh, just apologize and move on. That's not how things work as you get older and as you realize that certain people don't have genuine intent when they apologize. So apologies are just band-aids, but they don't help heal situations. So he tells her, no, it's not about apologizing at this point. It's about allowing her to say her piece, which Letitia did not accept or didn't allow her to do. So when he said that, I was like, ding, 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 that is correct. Melody and Kimmy. So Melody is at her house. Kimmy goes to see her. They go outside to chat a bit. And they speak about that camping trip again. And Melody's thing is the same that Marceau told Tisha, which is like, when Melody, I guess, explained things from her point of view, Letitia's response was very negative, calling her up or saying that what she was saying was BS. And that shut Melody down. Now, she says that she wishes Kimmy said something, like Kimmy said, well, she was privy to that conversation about, Melody not being so close to Letitia at some point and that being the issue. What I think is going on is that, as Kimmy said, they have alternate facts as it relates to why their relationship broke apart. Melody thinks the catalyst was that she separated herself from Letitia a bit so she could take care of her home, and Letitia took it in a negative way. And Tisha takes it as, no, that wasn't the situation, that wasn't the reason. The reason was you were going on social media and lying about my husband and what he did or didn't do. Now, for me, I feel as if it's both of these situations. It's not one of them. I think it's both. Because at the end of the day, yes, Letitia did agree that Melody kind of separating herself a bit from Letitia was one of the reasons. But another reason was also that, Melody, you went on social media and you said that Marceau was possibly cheating on Letitia. From Letitia's standpoint, she thinks like that's the reason why their friendship broke apart. From Melody's point of view, she feels like her separating herself was the reason why their friendship broke apart. I feel like they just feel like they separated or their friendship broke up for different reasons. It's not necessarily that one is BSing and the other one is not, or one is telling the truth and the other one is not. It's just that one thinks differently than the other one. It has nothing to do with lying or BSing or any of that. As Kimmy says, you guys just have your own truths and just believe whatever you believe to be true. It just does not mesh. And that's where the disagreement comes in, and that's where effective communication is required. Because if I'm not allowing you to say your piece, you're not allowing me to say my piece, nothing is going to get resolved. And you guys are like 30-something years old. I mean, at this point, if you are unable to master good or at least effective communication, there's no point in even continuing that, the forced friendship or the forced reconciliation. Melody says to Kimmy that, of course, Martell is having a child because, prior to that, Kimmy thought it was a joke. Kimmy thought it wasn't true, or at least she was trying to not make it be something that was true, or not think of it as something truthful, until Melody confirmed it. Yes, he is having another baby. And then Kimmy was shocked a bit that it was confirmed, because I guess her perception of who she thinks Martell is not congruent to someone that would get this woman pregnant. But it's strange to me because Kimmy knew that Martell was cheating. So how far-fetched is it for him to get another woman pregnant? At the end of the day, I feel like what it is that when you have a friendship with someone and you see one side of them and think that's them in their entirety, it kind of blocks your perception of who they really are. Because at the end of the day, narcissists show you who they want you to see. If they want you to see compassionate, they'll show you that. If they want you to see self-loathing, they'll show you that. If they want you to see dynamic, they'll show you that. They'll show you what they think you need to see from them. That doesn't mean that's how they are. So a lot of friends, they like to defend their friends, but they really don't know their friends. You have to kind of be careful when defending friends sometimes, because you think they're one way, and then what they've been showing you is just a facade versus who they really are. So anyways, Kimmy is saying that she's not gonna now call Martell a bad guy because he is having a baby on the way. I'm not saying that somebody's mistakes are who they are, but when you continuously do something that you know is wrong, that says a lot about you. Like, we have to just see what it is. Like, when you continuously do bad things, at some point, how can people detach your behavior to who you are as an individual? At some point, it becomes one in the same. So, I don't know. I personally just feel like it's always good to sit back and listen, as opposed to saying, no, that's my friend, would never do something like that. Because at the end of the day, if you really think about it, do you really know your friend? Because people are good at creating facades and giving different people different sides to their personalities. Kimmy already knew he's been cheating, so I don't know why she was surprised that he got the woman pregnant. I mean, that's not far-fetched, She probably thought he was smart enough not to do that, but clearly he's not that smart. So she also asked Melody a question about whether she's dating anyone or not. And Melody's saying, well, she's open to dating, but at this point, she's focused on her children. And, a lot of people going through divorces, they feel as if they cannot always wait for the divorce to be final for them to move on. At some point, they start feeling lonely, they start feeling depressed, and they want to move on with their lives, and they don't want to have to move on after the divorce proceedings are final. They want to start moving on now. And looking on the outside looking in, it seems like cheating, it seems wrong, it seems like disrespectful to the marriage and everything. But if the marriage is already going through it, if they're already divorcing, then I personally don't see anything wrong with starting to move on with your life. But other people would see it differently. So Melody says that, well, shares with Kimmy that Martell thinks that he's the best man for her, and that any other man would just leave her, and she would know that he's the better one for her. But at the end of the day, you're not the better one for her, Martell. You hurt her, and you're continuing to hurt her now. So I don't understand why you're saying that other men cannot be better than you. Not all men cheat, not all men lie, not all men bash their significant others, not all men are narcissistic, not all men have other children outside of their marriage. It's really hypocritic. I keep saying hypocritic. Is that even a word? For him to come and say, oh, I'm better than any man. You could leave her alone, let her be free. You clearly have made it clear to her that you don't want her. Because if you did, you wouldn't cheat on her. So now that she's moving on with her life, why are you telling her these things? If anything, you should be happy for her to spread her wings and fly, considering you didn't appreciate her. Because what Martell will do, he acts like he's fighting for this marriage, but what he is going to do if Melody ever accepted him back was continue to cheat on her. And at this point, she doesn't want to be the first wife. She doesn't want to be the one that willingly allows him to go out and cheat on her. She doesn't want to be that. She didn't sign up for that. He keeps talking about wanting to fight for his marriage. No, he wants to fight for his comfortability. He wants to fight for what he had before, which is a wife and a side woman. That's what he wants to fight for, and that's what Melody has realized about him. And that's why she doesn't want to be with him anymore. So Martell and Maurice talk. Maurice is basically telling Martell that, divorce is a very difficult thing. He's been through divorce before. It's broken up their families, resulted in multiple casualties, on the wife's side, on his side, on the child's side. It's basically not a very easy situation to be in. So if there's any amount of desire to still be in it, fight for it. And Martell keeps saying deep down inside he wants to still be married, but what he wants is for his life to go back to how it used to be, not for him to necessarily be faithful to Melody. And that's the thing. Nobody's asking Martell, okay, what does wanting your marriage back look like? Like, are you going to continue to entertain other women while you're with your wife? Like, what is it looking like to you? Because it's easy to assume that, he just wants his wife back. I'm pretty sure he's going to do better. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. He's telling Martell to fight for his marriage. Martell doesn't want his marriage. Martell at some point checked out of his marriage a long time ago. So for Maurice to be so naive as to think that Martell still wants this marriage is laughable to me, because he doesn't. He keeps going for advice. So I think that the whole going for advice thing or fighting for his marriage thing is just a facade. It's not real. He's already been checked out of his marriage. If he wasn't, he wouldn't have been cheating for so long. You know what I mean? So when he goes to his friends asking for marriage advice, that's just BS. It's just literally a facade for him. It's an image for him to make it seem like he cares. He doesn't care about this marriage. He doesn't care. And every time he goes for advice and these people are asking him to fight, he goes back and bashes Melody. How is that wanting to fight for your marriage? It doesn't make sense. So Marceau and Tisha talk. They're opening their business. It's called Black. It's a cigar lounge, and they're going to sample some dishes of the menu. And Marceau is telling the chef that the presentation could be better and all these types of things, and that he doesn't want to open another Black business where the customers are getting poor customer service experiences. And that speaks a lot to Black businesses and how awful their customer service tends to be a lot of the time. People complain about the getting the aggressiveness, the rudeness, the attitude, which is completely unacceptable for professional businesses. Whether it be Black owned, white owned, Indian owned, Spanish owned, customer service is what keeps people coming back to your business. Sometimes your products may not even be up to par, but because you're so nice, caring, and interested in your customers' well-being, they might very well want to come back to just support you and your business. So it's very important to leave your customers with a positive perception of the business and the environment, and I do understand that from So he wants to give his customers top of the notch presentation, customer service, everything, and I agree with that. Now they talk about possibly hiring Jalen for the general manager position of the company. Letitia feels as if Marceau is like making decisions without consulting her, and that just to me aligns with his personality. Marceau is very archaic. Marceau is somebody that believes the wife role should be at home with the children. So I do not feel surprised that he doesn't feel highly of her or highly enough of her to include her in the decision-making process. Anyways, he thinks Jalen would be good because his family, they know him. He believes that Jalen cares, which is, although other people have experience, they might treat it as a job, as opposed to Jalen, who has more of a familial tie to the establishment. He may feel more compelled to do his best, within the company. So Marceau and Melody speak, and Melody is changing signs of a previous business, Holt & Holt, into Melody S. Holt. And Marceau goes to her to speak about what Kimmy told him about the camping trip, and he's sharing with Melody that he agrees with Melody in terms of the fact that you calling the lady's story BS is kind of not effective communication. And he's telling us that he's on his wife's side in terms of wanting for them to have a positive relationship moving forward, although it may not seem like that. He mentions a bit about the fact that Melody was the one that kind of created some animosity between them and the Holts, bringing up some personal business that, about cheating and whatnot. And Melody is like, me, or whatever. She doesn't believe she did anything wrong. She believes everything she says is fact and valid and correct. And they don't feel that way. They feel like Melody was trying to disrupt their marriage. And maybe Melody wanted truth to be just out in the open. I don't know. Anyways, he invites her to their soft opening. Says Martell is gonna be there. She's not sure whether she wants to go or not. Like, she kind of is irritated by Marceau, so she doesn't want to go there and also have to deal with Tisha and Martell. So we'll see if she goes or not goes. I wouldn't go if I were her. Another intervention. Like, for me, I'm just sick of the interventions. Like, all these people trying to counsel Martell and Melody, trying to prevent them from getting divorces, or I guess get them to come to a point of reconciliation. That's not going to happen at this point. This man has gotten another woman pregnant. This man has put his private areas in another person's private area without any form of protection and gotten her pregnant while married. There is no reconciliation after that. None. And that's what irritates me about these people wanting them to reconcile. It almost seems selfish to me. It's like, oh, we love you. Oh, we have seen you guys be so awesome at times. Oh, we love your dynamic. Oh, we love this or we love that. But at the end of the day, it's not about what you guys want for their relationship. It's what they want for their relationship. They think what's best for them is for them not to be together. And you trying to make them be together is not going to work. Because don't you think that they've already dealt with certain things? And they just cannot get past certain things. Like, the interventions just irritate me. The problem is Martell cheated. Martell says something very ignorant. He says that, oh, Melody wanted me to, be with other women, not just this one woman. And I don't think that's necessarily what it was. It's just that when you're married to a woman, right, and you continue to be for a relationship with just one person beside the wife, it says to the wife that, you know what, he's really serious about this other person. Because a lot of the time when men cheat, they have a lot of non-serious relationships. They may sleep around with various women because they want to be wild, or they just want to be promiscuous, or they just want to, live a life that they led before getting married. However, with Martell, he cheated, but he continued to be with one person. He continued to cheat with one person. And that makes it different, because it's not as if, oh, he's just having non-serious relationships with a bunch of different women or being promiscuous with other women. That's not it. It's that he has a whole other relationship with another woman for 5 years. That's what makes it sting and hurt even more. Because it's like he had his wife and he had this common law marriage. That's what hurts and stings the most. So for me, what I think it was that Melody is thinking, well, he really wants to be with that other woman, considering that's the only woman that he's been with for such a long period of time beside me, his wife. It seems as if now he's giving this side woman all the privileges of a wife. So why do you still want a wife? I think that's what baffles everyone. You've gotten her pregnant, you've gotten her cars, you've gotten her multiple things, you've bad-talked your wife to her, you've done so many things. Why do you want to continue to be married when you have already chosen another wife, so to speak? So continuing this marriage would not make any sense, because what Martell will do is get back together with her. As soon as things get bad, run back to the side woman again. So it would continue to be a cycle if Melody continued to accept him as her husband. And that's why she has to end it. See it through, divorce him. There's no reconciliation here. He wants an open marriage. She doesn't. There's no moving forward when there's this big of a disagreement. She drops that he's cheated on her with multiple women in this marriage. Not one, multiple women. And that was a shock to all of us because we were here thinking it was just Ariane. But it was more than one woman. That's what Melody says. Martell gets defensive, says Melody is a liar, tells Melody to stop being an effing victim, and things just go left from there. He tells Melody that if she continued to do what she was supposed to do in the marriage, he wouldn't go to the other woman. Melody gets annoyed, throws a glass at his ears. And then reconciliation is done. Intervention is finished. There's nothing more to talk about here. Nothing more to do here. It's done. You know? He says, oh, the side woman is good because she treated him well and did all this for him. So why do you still want to be married to Melody? Why are you even here having an intervention? It seems to me like Martell just wants Melody to just get over things and just move on. But she can't, and she'd be stupid if she did. Because she doesn't want what you want. She doesn't want to be with you and you being with another woman. If she wanted a polyamorous or polygamous relationship, she would be in one. She never signed up for all that. So don't put her in it unwillingly, unable for her to say yes or no. Like, that's selfish. So anyways, that was the episode. Is there anything I want to add? He says that when the truth comes out, Melody gets defensive. What truth came out? You've been saying that she wasn't doing what you wanted her to do. She addressed that and said that she did try to do a lot of the things you wanted her to do, but that wasn't enough for you. And you continued to cheat. So what else do you want her to do? Anyways, that's it for Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 2, Episode 18. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know anything I needed to add or anything that was important for you for me to discuss in the comment section. See you next time on The Ranting Shop. Be sure to like and subscribe. Bye-bye.